Hello there, my name's John.
Hi, my name is Susan.
And hindsight is 2020, and looking back, I'm completely blown away that Mason didn't charge us one penny for the system.
Yeah, I mean, we're both like, whoa, it was absolutely free, and our lives are completely changed, and there are no other words than, complete gratitude. I mean, in the month of August alone, well, we told you.
It's absolutely, I'm in amazement. We made $15,746, and it's been so great working with you, Mason. I just wanted to reach out to everyone out there with my highest recommendations. You will absolutely get the results we did.
Thank you so much.
And not only was I able to make $1,763 within my first 3 days, Mason didn't even charge me a cent for the system.
I mean, $563 on my first day?
Oh, Mason, I've made $11,762 in 19 days. All thanks to you.
I mean, I made $3,256 last week. I mean, I never even left the house.
Mason, what can I say? You told me the system was free, and it was. In my first week alone, I made over $2,700.
Mason, I want you to know, with your help, I've said goodbye to that 5-day work week.
In the next few minutes, I am going to show you how, while traveling the world, and as you can see, we're just about to land in Tahiti, I make what you could call a very comfortable living from the internet. What's better, I'm going to show you how to do the same. And how about this? I'm not going to take a penny from you, not until you start making large profits of your own. That's right, I won't put a penny of your money in my pocket till you start making profits of your own. Now listen carefully while I explain it all on my last few trips. Why, you ask? Would I want to help you change your life and make anywhere from $200 to $5,000 every single day? Fair question, but a simple answer. I'm a businessman, and I like making money. And every time you make money, profit, call it what you want, I will take a small cut, a 10% commission to be specific. That means you keep 90% of all the money you make, and that's exactly why I need and want you to be successful. Because the more money you make, the more money I make. And if you don't make any money, then neither do I. So I need and want you to be successful, and I mean very successful. Let me introduce myself and fill you in on the details while on our recent trip in February to Tahiti. My name is Mason White, and you'll see my girlfriend Harper now and again throughout the video. Feel free to Google me, and if people have done their jobs, you should find very little info on me at all, and that's the way I like it. I'm a private person, and I like to keep it that way. I'm sure you can understand this. Excuse the shakiness of my hand now and again, as this entire video was shot with my personal iPhone. Over the last couple months in 2013, in the various destinations I visited and sailed all over the world, from the lagoons of Tahiti to my villa in Saint-Tropez, France, Croatia, Malta, the list goes on. I'll even show you my sailing yacht moored in front of my villa in Saint-Tropez. She's not the biggest, but she's beautiful, and well, she's mine at the end of the day. And the best part of all of this, I was making large sums of money while doing it. Let me log into one of my accounts. So I'm blurring out my username and passwords for obvious reasons, but as you can see, this HSBC account is 100% real. And for the record, this is only one of my personal accounts. I'm sure you've noticed that my HSBC checking account has a pretty healthy balance of around £650,000. That's approximately $1.25 million, by the way. Look at the date. This balance is very recent. And as I said earlier, this is only one of my accounts. I have multiple accounts in the United States, the United Kingdom, and further abroad, all with healthy balances and all thanks to the online world. And in a minute, I'm going to show you how to make your own money just like that.
Run, go, go. And I'm coming too.
As beautiful as Bora Bora is, it's now time to head to my villa in Saint-Tropez.
Now it's time to go in. We gotta go swimming.
As you can see, we've arrived in France, and after a short trip across the bay, I'd like to show you that villa and sailing yacht I was talking about. Well, I'm standing on my sailboat, and yes, my villa is that close. She may not be the biggest in town, but there's more than enough space for a few friends to come around and enjoy the Mediterranean sunshine. And as you can see, my yacht is literally moored in my front garden. Can't complain, can I? But back to the point of you being here. You want to make money, and the more money and the faster the better, right? Well then, I suggest you continue watching the next few minutes of this video. And if then you want to close the page, you can do so. But you won't, I guarantee that. In fact, you're darn right crazy if you do, because it's all absolutely 100% free. That's right, I won't touch a penny of your money. So, instead of some fake actor, a couple supercars and a mansion, all rented for the day of course, I mean, you know the drill. We've seen that so many times over and over again with countless so-called internet gurus. I mean, what even is a guru? I've been making large sums of money online for years and never referred to myself as a guru. I just don't get it. Do people really believe that nonsense? Well, what I was saying is I personally shot this video on my iPhone 4S with the help of a waterproof cover over the last few months, showing you what I do and how I live day to day. And currently, as you can see, I'm sailing across the Mediterranean on my way to Malta and Croatia. Best part, I make massive paydays while doing it, and so are all my partners, which is exactly where you come in. Just listen to what Jonathan had to say.
Hey Mason, thanks for giving me a couple minutes of your time. I just wanted to send you a little video thank you for the incredible amount of help that I've received from you. I've been trying to do this online making money thing for quite some time, and I've bought a bunch of $10 programs all the way up to $200 to $300 programs, and I'd never been successful before I met you. And I love how you're like, hey, try this free, and when you start making some money, I only take 10%. And to myself, I thought, you know what, that's an interesting approach, because I've never had anybody tell me, hey, look, I'm here for you, I can help, just email me, whatnot. Here, let me show you the process of how to make money. But, you know, I'm a guru in a way, even though you never said that to be a guru, but that's the thinking I was thinking, that, you know, give me a little bit of a cut. And that's just like real business, you know. The people that have a lot of money, that do know how to make money, share their ideas and stuff, but, you know, their time's precious. It's worth money. So that made sense to me. But anyway, I just wanted to update you. It took me about a month, but man, I hit that $5,000, and I was just like, yes. And I'm on pace on the other half of the month to double that. My kids are asking about getting this and that and stuff, and it's nice to be able to say, yeah, I can use that money. I can buy what I want. I can take a trip. thank you so much. And I know it's kind of weird me sending a video, but this is the new modern age, and you have my blessings if you want to show anybody how happy I am, how successful about your program. I mean, I'm so glad I found it, and it's just amazing. And if anybody's watching this, if Mason put this up, I'm a believer. It's just incredible, and what a great guy. And so thanks again, Mason. Thanks for your time, and I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to making a little bit more money for you and a lot more for me. Thank you.
Don't believe me? Fine. Close this window. Your loss, and somebody else will be happy you did, as it'll open a spot for somebody to make between $200 and $5,000 US a day. Yes, every single day. And make no mistake, many people are currently doing exactly that. Everybody likes proof. I understand this. Well, continue watching this video, and in the next few minutes, tell me that you still haven't had enough proof. I mean, already you can see all my footage is personally shot, you've seen my passport with immigration stamps, dates, and more, not to mention many of my satisfied partners. I mean, how much more proof do you really want? Never mind the fact that I'm not even charging you a penny. And if you feel by the end of this video you still don't have enough proof, then fine, that's your call. We probably wouldn't be right for each other anyway. Yes, each other. You, me. Rather, we. We are a team. We will be making money together, and as I said earlier, I only make money when you make money. And don't take a cent from you till you do. But more about that later. Next stop, Malta. Now, let's get back to my key point. I will only be taking money from you when you start making profits of your own. Yes, you won't pay me a penny till you start seeing money in your account. So, how does this work? Well, let's break it down a bit further. Let's say you make $700 profit today. 700 is not bad, right? Well, let me tell you, loads of people are currently making $700 a day and more after signing up and applying this system, program, method, call it whatever you want. I like to call it the brainchild of basic business acumen, combined with a couple great software developers. Anyway, in only a couple days, you can start seeing those $700 days, and I guarantee you will see your first profits on day one. This is for certain. Just listen to what some of my partners are saying.
I mean, $563 on my first day?
And what's better, I am earning over $12,500 US a month doing it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It was really a no-brainer for me, and now I just couldn't be happier.
Back to the point. When you start making those $700 profit days, I will take my 10% commission from that. So, from that $700 profit you make, I will take $70 to cover my costs and make some profit of my own. And you will be keeping the remaining $630 all for yourself. A pretty good setup if you ask me. Let's step into my office below decks and continue this conversation. Alright, so this is where a lot of the magic happens. Not a bad office, right? But back to that $630 profit in one day. Multiply that by the number of days in the month, and that totals $18,900 US. Sounds pretty good. Well, it is, as $18,900 US is a lot of money in anybody's language. So, with me throwing out numbers like $18,900 US a month and more, who wouldn't be a little skeptical, or at least have a few questions? So I'll level with you. Not everybody's going to make the $18,900 a month. Saying that, many people who have signed up and currently implementing my methods are making that $18,900 a month. Sure, some are making less, I won't lie, but there are also plenty who are making $30,000, $50,000, even $80,000 a month and more. But, and that's a big but, these 80,000K plus kids, as I like to call them, are dedicated, really dedicated. And unlike other make money on Facebook style programs where they promise you $2,500 a day and only work for like 30 minutes rubbish, it's not like that at all. These guys are literally living in front of their computers 6 days a week, but they're making $80,000 US a month, living in big houses and driving cars they only dreamed of, so you can't blame them, right? I mean, just look what Jason picked up recently. And Jason and I have only been working together for 2 months now. But forget about Jason for now. While I sail towards Malta, let's get back to you in the classic newbie starting off scenario. What can you expect early on as a 12-hour workday? At least in my books is not the answer. With that said, and without sacrificing every second of your day 6 days a week, you can comfortably work between 1 and 3 hours a day and make well over $7,500 US a month. That equates to over $250 a day. Not half bad for a newcomer just starting out who hasn't really got to know this system yet. And with a little time and effort, you could soon be following in Jason's footsteps. Although not so sure about the color yellow. Sorry, Jason. Okay, so with all that said, making a monthly income of $7,000, $10,000, $30,000, and even $80,000 or more sounds great. I'm sure you'll agree, and I want you to make the most money you possibly can, because the more money you make, the more money I make. Remember, best part is you won't pay me a penny until you start to make profits of your own. So, how are we going to achieve this? Yes, I used the word we, because I like to think of it as a partnership deal. I scratch your back, and you scratch mine, as they say. Well, I'm happy to let you know it's a lot simpler than you may expect. I'm not going to go into too much detail right now, as to explain it all will take a lot of time, as well as chew a load of your internet bandwidth. Besides, most of the people when I start explaining the technical side of it all tell me to stop and speak English, please. But to put it simply and sum it up, it's all about, and I mean all about, monitoring trends. Online trends, that is. Combine this with my software and these trends will make you a lot of money. I will show you how the software works and how to apply it. You really don't need to be a rocket scientist to see great results. And most importantly, the golden rules. Stick to these rules and you will soon find yourself earning a monthly salary on the higher side of what we were talking about earlier. Okay, back to these trends. And how with this software we are able to monitor what is currently hot or even dying off for that matter on the internet. Most importantly though, how to make these trend movements pay us a lot of money. I'm sure you are thinking, so what if I know what is currently trending? Or rather what the most desirable move taking place online at any particular moment is? Well, simply put, millions of dollars are spent online every single day. Google it. In the US alone, consumers spent $1.25 billion. Yes, $1.25 billion online in one day. Big numbers, right? Now, that $1.25 billion is made up of various industries, as I'm sure you're aware. Everything from physical products, foodstuffs, health industry, adult industry, vehicle trading, the list goes on. All these industries, if executed correctly online, can make some big profits. Sure, some are a lot more straightforward than others, and some pay a lot more than others. That's a given. Trust me, I've had first-hand experience and dabbled in most of these industries. Some have burnt me, and I've learned the hard way and will never touch them again. Others treated me alright, and I still have a small interest in them. But my point is, out of that 1.25 billion daily sales, and again, that's in the US alone, some people are making serious money, and others are losing serious money. The key is always to keep oneself in the first category, and in an industry that is the least labor intensive and the most profitable. For example, you never want to have to hold stock, or ship it for that matter. It's a nightmare. Courier companies will drive you around the bend. Leave that game to some other clown. It's just too big a headache for such thin profits. At least that's my opinion. Now, listen carefully. The key is to keep it digital. This is where the big money is. Never forget that. So we're sailing into Malta. Pretty impressive island, I might add. But these trends I spoke of, let me explain them further. Trends are all around us, whether we are aware of it or not. The style clothes we wear, the style of house we want to live in, the color car we choose to drive, even the way we style our hair. The nerd glasses is a great example of this. These are all based on trends, and the people who spot these trends at the opportune moment and take advantage of them first nearly always make big profits no matter what industry they are in. But we can't go and start a clothing business, a hair salon, or even a construction business for that matter. These types of businesses take large capital to start up and loads of staff. They are not an option, plain and simple. And that's where the internet, or rather the online world as I like to call it, comes in. Trends are absolutely everywhere online, and you can make these digital trends work for you to a degree you never thought possible. Large profits are easily obtainable in short period of time. This is for certain, and the best part, with a startup funding of only a few bucks. Fact. Google it as much as you want. More millionaires are made online every single day than any other trade. And a huge percentage of these millionaires do it all from their spare room at home or even their garage. Amazon and Google both started at home. And how about these kids who all made their first million from their parents' home and all under the age of 16 when they did? Anyway, enough about them and more about you and me. Rather, us. Let me explain it in more detail as I walk around the old city of Dubrovnik in Croatia. These online trends, and why the internet is the place to be, it's plain and simple really. Because there are just so many digital trends, and because so many people are relying on these online trends, whether they know it or not, you can carry on using, or rather profiting from the same trend over and over again, putting more money into your bank account every single day. And when this trend dies, simply move to the next one. Now tell me that doesn't excite you, because it darn right excites me every day. So, as I said earlier, I won't take a penny of your money. And only when you start making profits for yourself will I start to take that 10% commission we spoke about. I'm sure you'll agree that is more than fair. But back to some key information for the moment. Have you ever heard that saying, it takes money to make money? Well, it's true. And like I said, if we had loads of cash, we could, for example, set up a construction business and build an apartment block, and if done correctly, we could make some solid returns. But these businesses are money hungry. And that's the very reason we're sticking to the online world and everything digital. It's easier. The returns are far greater, and at the end of the day, it requires next to nothing money-wise to get the ball rolling. This brings me to my next point, and how we are going to have you making your first $250 profit in the next 2 hours. And put the steps in place to move that up to $700 days and even the $5,000 days as soon as possible. So, to profit from these digital trends, you're going to need a small startup kitty, as I like to call it. I stress the word small, and it really is a small sum of money. I do not touch this startup kitty. It is your money and it will stay your money. You can even withdraw it at any time if you wish. But this kitty is going to be your startup funding. And it is the funding you'll be using to generate those $18,500, even those $80,000 months we were speaking about. I want to stress though, I will not touch these funds. They remain yours. I will only start to take my agreed 10% commission when you make a profit off a trend. This I assure you. I mean, I could make you pay a substantial joining fee, then explain to you how the system works and say best of luck and just leave you on your own. Hence, I make my profit straight away. But I'm sure we'll both agree, the way I've structured it with you using your deposit to make you more money, and with myself only taking my 10% commission when you make a profit off a trend, is a far, far better structure for both of us. But enough said, wouldn't you agree we could be using this time to make us some solid cash? So let's bank some profits right now. Click the button below, which will take you to our secure deposit page. It is fully 32-bit and McAfee secured for everybody's safety. See you guys in the members area.